All right, I got a few moments here to do a quick teaching from Bast. And this is just an explanation as to how we're going to structure the new hidden temple. The way she's doing it, she's going to continue to have the temple run in the way that it has ran. The only difference here is that she's going to basically delegate to us more input. And this is actually what we wanted. We didn't really want to take over the whole temple and have to run every aspect of it and have to delegate and reassign things. And there's no point in us taking, like let's say, the god Mars and taking him and telling him that he's no longer on the mission that he was on prior to our being in control and reassigning him a mission. And if we had to do that with all of the members of the temple, we'd have a mess. It would just take us forever to catch up on. So the situation that Bast wants to help us with is structure it so that we have a clear method of doing things. The first thing she said that she wanted to bring up was text messaging. When we do group text messages, she wants to be clear that those are to be considered official. They are like going to the Senate, the House of Representatives. We're going to be up there and we have to act in an official capacity. This way, there's no chit-chat per se, and those things can be reserved for personal text messaging between each other. Personal questions can be sent between personal text messages. But in a group format, we need to keep it, according to her view of things, more formal and more strictly business. After that, you can text somebody anything you want. And that way, it keeps the business, it keeps the temple working in the same proper direction. And there's not a waste of time or resources with, just simple chit chat. If we expect that going in, there won't be any hurt feelings when somebody doesn't wish you a happy day or, if it's your birthday or something, bring it up. They can do that in their personal text, whatever it is, right? So it's clear. She wants to make that clear up front. The second thing she wants to go into and that she wanted to sort of discuss with me was reservoir of powers. It's something I had brought up with her, was having a reservoir at this location so that mystic beings could tap in to Father God creative powers and be able to throw letters into the physical realm. And this way, if we ever have a situation like the leprechaun, and his reasoning was that he ran out of powers, well, that excuse won't exist anymore. It will be here. We will have the powers, and we will be able to have conversation. And then also, something that I have brought up, speaking of mystic beings, is we need to get a messenger. We need an angel, in the Greek Latin translation, but we need a messenger. We don't have Hania anymore. We don't have a Toi. We let Toi go because he has a family and he's a family man. Hania was single, but now him and Rosander are married and they have kids. So again, we're not going to be using either one of those people. So we're going to have to look into that. We're going to have to figure that out. And that's going to be something that we will all get together as a group. Anyways, I'm going to get back to what Bast was talking about. So those are really the two things she wanted to address up front. The reservoir of power was something I had brought up with her. But also, along those lines, is we need to keep track of the powers that the group has for Hidden Temple matters. You are allowed to have your own personal reservoir of powers. And those can be saved for your personal benefit. If you want to cast a spell to help your family, you should have some sort of reservoir for that, some power source. However, we should also have a sort of marked reservoir of power that we are allotting towards Hidden Temple matters. And this way, we don't confuse things and it becomes less stressful in a sense because we know what we have and the group is informed as to what we have as a group. Right now, we were trying to kind of figure things out the other day and then it came up that, we ended up not having access or we ended up not having enough powers to do what we wanted to do. And this was not necessarily a surprise because I think we all know we're limited on powers right now. But it still is like, oh, I wasn't really thinking about that. You're right. We don't have enough powers to sustain it. So then we tried to come up with a method of, one person uses one day, a certain amount of powers, allowing other people to save up, and the next day someone else jumps in, allowing that former person to start saving up powers. And that was just sort of a workaround, whereas it would have been better if we had just a certain power trap designed solely for us to use on our temple matters. And a good description of how we can do that, a good teaching on how we can implement that is one of my next agendas here. So this is just a quick update on Bast's implementation, how she wants to sort of focus on keeping our group sessions official, having access to a power base to allow mystic beings to speak to us, and then on top of that, the idea of actually having powers in the general sense that are listed amongst the group so we all know what we have, and there's no questioning amongst the group whether we're going to have enough powers to do something. Because if I come up with an idea that requires all 5 of us to use all of our powers at once, and then I find out there's only 4 of us, that would have been a waste of my time to develop that whole spell system, to figure it all out, right? So it would have been better I would have known up front, or the same with the rest of you. So this is how it works for us incarnations who are going to be structuring the Hidden Temple. And then, of course, like I said, I do think that we as a group, we need a messenger of sorts, someone that we can work with. And we may approach the fairies or pixies. I've done that before and got candidates from them. That was for military purposes, but I'm sure that they would have good candidates. Or if any of you have a suggestion of to which mystic being group we should go to consult for possibilities, please send them to me. And actually, you can probably just write them in the comments below this video. So I think we're making progress here and things are becoming more structured. So thanks to Bast, I think things are going to be a little bit more the way we originally wanted them.